Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach for the final time. I might do one other video after this, just going through sort of the hits and misses of the season. If I get around to doing it, not so much if I get time, if I just feel like doing it after I don't know, in a week or so. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I might do something. Obviously, you know, I'm not shocked, but like usual, the Supercoach sort of scene dies off a little bit this time of year. You know, obviously people aren't going as well, and more casual players, the views and stuff obviously dip after a certain point. But it's been a good season in terms of like content and all this. It's been a lot of fun, like it always is. But in terms of the season as a whole, bit of a strange one. Like, I never really felt like we were going that well. There was some good decisions thrown in there. There was a couple of stinkers. We got a bit of bad luck. We got a bit of good luck. And we finish on 1,593. So we did jump back up 191 spots. We got 1,022, which is pretty good. Like, it's pretty good for the numbers we had. And honestly, I thought we were in with a decent sniff of maybe jumping up a bit more than that, but obviously not having the big manly boys. Fuck it. I mean, Ola Kawatu probably the main one, because obviously Kola, absolute super pod. Only a few people probably had Kola. Cherry Evans went incredible, but it was sort of countered by having Nico and Cleary. But Ola Kawatu was, I mean, he was sort of the difference maker for a lot of teams, and just a couple other guys that fucking just killed me not having a Zarko. But we'll go through how we went overall. We'll have a look at some other sort of stats and stuff in this video. But let's get into it. So yeah, 1,022. It's just that 1 week, dude. One fucking week where we dropped like 1,500 spots last week. Just absolutely screwed our season. But you know, finishing inside the top 1%, not top 1,000, but top 1%. It's fine. It is what it is. I mean, if we finished 500 compared to 1,500, it's not that. It is what it is. It's not really that big a difference. You want to finish, you know, I feel like for real bragging rights for anybody that plays really seriously, you want to get like top 100. That's sort of the real. That's the real juice. Obviously, top 1,000 is still very nice, and even, you know, 1,593, we'll take it. But what could have been. But let's have a look at the team, how she went. Because yeah, it was a pretty good week overall for scoring for our players. Damien Cook with an 88, cannot be disappointed with that. Thankfully, we did not trade him out when we could have downgraded someone. We kept the Harry Grant and Cook combo. Horsburgh not getting off and not playing was a big kick in the guts. Again, just a decent pod that has been really good, but it could have made a big difference this week, you know. Fanil Blake and Payne Haas were both definitely getting rested, and then fucking Horsburgh had to go get it suspended, which was a bit of a, I don't know, it was a bit of a dog suspension, but oh well, it is what it is. Joe Tarpany with a 35-point affair. I didn't watch much of this game. I watched the first half, and then I had to go out and do something, so I didn't see much of the second half. But how did he score 35 points? How many fucking... He played 33 minutes? Yeah, okay. That one hurts. That one hurts. You would have thought with Horsburgh and Papali'i being out, Joe Tarpany would have played huge minutes. He must have copped an injury, because I remember he definitely came off earlier than expected in his first stint, but like the eye test, I wasn't really keeping up with the scores in the first half, but the eye test, it looked like he was going to score pretty well, because he had a couple of tackle breaks. It looked like he had at least one offload. He was getting around a bit, and his work rate was pretty solid. He did get taken off pretty early, but then I definitely saw him in the second. I saw a bit of the second half, and I definitely saw him go back on at some point, but he mustn't have. I don't know. He must have got an injury, but that's all right. Whatever. It fucked me, but what it is what it is. I mean, honestly, when we talk about our sort of the good and the bad, Joe Tarpany, I honestly don't know where I'll put Tarpany. Like, his average is 64, which is it's really good for a front rower, but I feel like I did lose so many points in the front row by not having. I mean, at certain stages, Tino, Adam Finnell-Blake, I guess, Payne Haas at the start of the year, but we can talk about that later. The back row, Dave Fafita, 76, Britton Nickera, 47, and Pierre Cora, 50 points, which I will take wholeheartedly. It was he obviously played into the starting side, which is nice. He got put on report 3 times. A couple of them were a bit, I mean, people were carrying on a little bit that he didn't get suspended, but 2 of the reportable offenses were fucking nothing. It was only sort of, I think, one of the high shots that I thought, he might get a week or 2. But I was just like, really, man? Like, he must have given away like 4 to 6 penalties. So the fact he got 50 points, I was pretty pleased with, because he gave away so many points with penalties, dude. I was losing it. But it is what it is. Nathan Cleary, 149. He updated a lot. He was on like, I don't know, he was on like 100, like it was like at most 110, I think. So I think he got like 40 extra points after updates. Now I did think one of the try assists he could have potentially got watching the game, but it was one of those 50-50s, and I'm not gonna lie, because it was Cleary, I was sort of like, they're gonna give him this one. They're gonna give it to him. I don't know what other points he got, but he was my captain, so I will take that to the bank. Nico Hines, 127. Cody Walker, 45, had a bit of a shocker. Thankfully got that 1 try assist, but yeah, the Rabbits just fucking. Oh, again, when we talk about sort of what went wrong, fucking loading up on Rabbitohs players, dude, they fucking stunk. They stunk. Like, I mean, I'm glad I didn't, but like, there were other popular guys. Campbell Graham, since Origin, has been fucking dreadful. Now, I'm not going to go off on a huge tangent. I do think Campbell Graham is pretty overrated in the NRL scene. Like, people think he's like this unbelievable defensive center, but I don't know. I gotta be honest. I think I see him get stood up quite a few times, and people don't really mention it. But these last few weeks, I think he's finally started to come under a little bit of flack, and he's been shocking. Cullen Matangi also. I was watching this game pretty closely, obviously, for Supercoach, and I was like, obviously I don't own Cullen Matangi, but just as like a footy standpoint, I was watching that game and I'm like, what the fuck has happened to Cullen Matangi? I was like, he hasn't touched the football. He's had like no impact. Defensively, he went missing a few times. I was like, what is happening to this man? Like, he was one of the best back rollers in the comp for the first half of the season. Like, he was in such good form, and now in the back end of the season, he's not even touching the football. You can blame the halves as well, but he's not even going looking for the ball. So I don't know. The Rabbitohs just fucking stunk, dude. And yeah, they're gonna miss the finals, but it is what it is. Our centre wing, Greg Marju, I'll take that, 76. Obviously scored a try without Kalen Ponga. You love to see it. Joey Manu obviously didn't end up playing. Ronnie, 73 with a try. Lovely. Johnston, 24, obviously didn't score a try, so stunk it up. And then James Tedesco with 83, which is good. So yeah, overall, I was like, it's a pretty good week to finish the season with the numbers we had. Like, our average was pretty good. I mean, Walker 45, Johnson 24, and I guess a couple of 50s here, but the rest of them are like very, very solid. Couple of big tons. But yeah, we obviously jumped a few spots, but I was praying that, I guess, I don't know, that not that many people owned Ola Kawatu, but I think he is pretty popular, because if we have a look, let's just have a quick squiz at round 27. God damn. Oh man, I was thinking about this more and more with Cola, dude, because it was actually breaking me, because I think I said it last week as well, that when I brought in Dallin, Watani Zelezniak, for Latrell, it was out of him and Cola, and I was very keen to get Cola, but I sort of just chickened out, and I thought, you know what, we'll take the safe route of Dallin, even though, like, for the whole season, I kept looking at his scores, and I was like, this man needs to score like 2-3 tries. He's like Johnston with like slightly better base stats. But, you know, the Warriors had such a good 2 games to finish the season. I was like, it's the safe play to get Dallin. Cola is a bit unknown at fullback, and you're not sure how he's going to go. And also the fact that I thought maybe Ruben Garrick might come back in for the final game, even though that was probably a little bit silly, because why would they risk it? All of that, I went Dallin, and dude, the snowball effect, holy fuck. Like, if we, Cola scored, what did he score last week? Like 120 odd? He went massive. Dallin scored 20. Cola got 100 extra points. So straight away, if I went Cola, 100 extra points. But then on top of that, if I didn't get Dallin, I definitely, like, I probably would have vice-captain Manu, because the only reason I viced Dallin was that he was basically my highest potential upside player for that week, I thought. And it was like, okay, the safety of Manu as captain, and just take a real flyer on the vice-captain. But if I didn't have Dallin, then I don't know, maybe I would have vice-captain Cola, but I probably wouldn't. I probably would have gone with like a vice on Manu and a captain on Ponga. So if I did that, I would have also missed the captaincy debacle of Manu. And then this week, fucking Dallin doesn't even play, and Cola scores 188. Oh my god. We would have been in the top 100 for sure if for that one decision. And that's Supercoach, dude. Supercoach can come down to 1 or 2 decisions, especially with some of the massive scores and late in the season. But you know, we can't piss and moan too much. We made that call, and it's one of the worst trade-ins you'll ever witness. 23 and then not even playing the next week is our premium trade-in option, but you know, it is what it is. Ola Kawatu was 177. And he's owned by, quite a few people. Obviously, anyone with trades like Cola would have been popular to bring in Ola Kawatu potentially as well. And I think they said that was the highest second row score in Supercoach history. I think the previous one was only like 150, high 150. So he's smashed it. 177. Cherry Evans 150. Cleary 149. Kieran Foran, fucking 3 tries, 129. Stephen Crichton, Tristan Saylor. Oh, dude, that's fucking Tristan Saylor. He's only 2%, but I did see quite a few people on Twitter like having Saylor. He was like a bit of a nuff option for people, and obviously the final round he came in, and if anyone had him as like a nuff or just like a downgrade earlier in the season and just held on to him, oh my god, imagine that, dude. 120 points in the final round from a player you weren't even going to have in your team, basically. Jason Saab, 100 points. Dom Young, 100 points. Cody Nikorima, 103. Fuck, dude. And he's pretty popular as well. So, I mean, I have Cook. Yeah, I guess it's either Cook or Cody, who both scored well. Josh had a car. Taruva finally. God, look how many tons there are. This is insane. Is this like the most tons in a week of Supercoach? It's got to be close. There's so many. Taruva and Toto both tonned up. Taruva probably a lot of people don't own him who's actually still playing, but he finally delivered a big score at the end of the season. Brian Toto, again, massive. Fucking Jermaine Asako is the one that kills me. 96 points. He never stopped. Then you got Cameron Murray. Fucking Tino, 90 points. Oh my god. He was on another level in Supercoach this year. If he didn't get suspended, man, he could have been like his scoring was going off the charts, and then obviously the suspension knocked it around, but it is what it is. God, there's some massive scores. Like, there's just so many massive scores. A lot of guys, no one owns, but Bostock, fucking 4% own. Like, imagine having him as like a cheapie as well, and he comes in, scores 87 for you. Fualongo was incredible. Zay Katoa. Surely no one had fucking Katoa who was still playing properly. Oh man. Ryan Pappenhausen, 78. So I probably would have brought in Pappenhausen if I had a trade left. And it would have been okay, but he didn't really set it on fire. He obviously scored. What did he score? 2 tries? No, one try. But yeah, just big scores all the way down. So it was just one of those weeks where like even people that only had like a few numbers, the fact that so many like high scores happened, like the scoring was like pretty, I guess, standard. Let's go quickly through top scoring players briefly. So Harry Grant like blitzed it, like really blitzed it. Average much higher. Damien Cook came home strong, obviously. 3-round average of 83, even 5-round average of 73. And he finishes with a 65 average. The drop off is huge. Like, I mean, Nicarima with a 58 average, but still, like, you're going from 73 to 65, then to mid 50s, basically. A massive drop off in dummy halves. It just. Yeah, just a massive difference in dummy halves this year, I think. I don't know, less... I don't know. I don't know what you'd say. Less consistency with the dummy halves, less options, maybe. Front row forward, Fanil Blake absolutely stormed it. Way more points. Average was good, but not as good as Tino. Even, I mean, Tarpany 64 average, Payne Haas 73 average, and then, Tohu, Corey, both in the 60s. We should probably look at average, maybe closer than total points to an extent. And then, other than the main guys, even Barnett averaged 60 somehow. Even coming off the bench quite a bit. Tommy Gilbert out early in the season. And then fucking Jack DeBellin up as like one of the better sort of second options. Because, I mean, Paseka to an extent, Fodawaker, wasn't a whole lot. Ruben Cotter, bit disappointing this year, I would say. Not too much else other than the big boys who can do it. Second row forward, so, I mean, Dave Fafita was far and away the best second rower this year. Jermaine Hopgood, Hopgood scored like as many points as Fafita, which is pretty impressive. Actually, I mean, he didn't really play less games. He obviously played off the bench for a few, but very, very impressive season for Hopgood. Britton Nickera, obviously, he died off a little bit. You can tell by the 3-round, 5-round averages, but still averaged basically 70. Isaiah Yo, only owned by 10%, but averaged 70 throughout the year, scored 70 in the fucking final round, of course. Ola Kawatu got up to high 60s, Carrigan, high 60s. A lot of the big boy, I mean, Bryce Cartwright, my absolute MVP for the season. Cameron Murray got his average up to an acceptable level after starting. He started okay, actually, but then sort of hit the brakes pretty quickly. Colin Matangi fucking just went off the rails. 3-round, 5-round average of 50. Johnny Bateman was okay. Preston was good. A lot of solid options there for sure. But yeah, Fafita was the pick of the bunch. I'm obviously not really talking about Tino. Halfbacks, I mean, once again, fucking Nico Hines, the best Supercoach halfback in the game. Average of 95. He averaged 95, dude. He was the highest scorer easily as well. So it's not even like he played a lot less games and had a better average. He played 20 games compared to 23 of Johnson, but his average 95. Insane. Insane. Sean Johnson obviously had a stellar year. Average is 77 though, so not quite elite. Nathan Cleary again being the second best, if not the best, with Hines. If it wasn't for that injury affected game, then he would have basically averaged the same. So 1 and 2. Cherry Evans came storming home. Fucking Jerome Hughes as well came storming home, and then it was pretty much nothing. I mean, Mitchell Moses averaged almost 70, which is pretty decent for Moses, who was pretty up and down. Matty Burden, I mean, more of a 5'8" discussion, I guess, but not much else in the way of halfbacks. Sammy Walker, what did Walker average? So Walker averaged like 60. Obviously just didn't play any games. I mean, I started with him at the start of the year, Sam Walker, and he did pretty well. And then, yeah, we obviously traded him off to... Who did we get in? Was it Cleary when he came back? I honestly can't remember. But yeah, that's all right. 5'8". So yeah, Kalen Ponga. The 5'8" were pretty fucking weird this year. I mean, Ponga's finishing as like the best 5'8", but like he missed a fair bit of footy. He was playing actual 5'8", but then moved to fullback, and if he got on early, but even then, like he wasn't sort of going crazy. But then he went on an absolute tear. Cody Walker, second most points easily. He averaged 70. Munster averaged 70, which he always does. Thomas Dearden went on a couple of massive tears at some points, but, finished on a 58 average. It's fine. I mean, Dylan Brown is obviously the guy that sort of got away, I guess, with all the drama out of footy. Everyone had to drop off him, but... I mean, he averaged 76, which is very good. It's the second best average here, and that's pretty much it for the 5'8". Not too much else to write home about, honestly. Tristan Saylor, fucking, he's a good player. I'd be shocked if another team doesn't try to snag Saylor. Like he is far too good to be in reserve grade. As a Bronx supporter, I'm hoping he does stay at the Bronx, because it's such good cover, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Centre wing, Azarko, fucking, oh my god, Azarko just, he blitzed it. Average of 76. Greg Marju pipped him with the average, obviously played a few less games. Very good. Nick Meaney, just a solid performer throughout. Came home pretty strong. Ruben Garrick, Garrick, Supercoach gun, what can you say? Average 70. Dane Gagai, a bit of a come from the clouds. I mean, this season of Gagai, not even as Supercoach, it's probably his best Supercoach season, I would think, but also just NRL. Like, it's the best season of NRL I've seen him play in a long time. He's been incredible. He's been so good. Campbell Graham, I mean, he averaged almost 70, but yeah, his drop-off has been huge. Dom Young has come from the clouds. Herbie just averaged 6. Herbie's like fucking Isaiah Yo, right? Like, Isaiah Yo, he's going to average 70. Cam Munster, he's going to average 70. And Herbie Farnworth just averages like 60. He's just so solid every week, but I don't know. I've never really thought to get him. I mean, 10% owned, but I don't know. He just doesn't have the ceiling, I guess. Brian To'o had a pretty good season after starting a bit slow. Matt Timoko, Bradman Best also went on little runs at points. Jesse Ramian. I mean, all the Sharks outside backs occasionally went well. Chans, bit of a Chance. I don't even know what to say about Chance. Where is so Dallin, I guess Dallin missed like a good chunk to start the year, didn't he? Yeah, and he played 17 games, averaged 70 though. I mean, for anyone that actually owned him for the good scores, I'm sure you've had a good season. I'm upset with him, but it is what it is. Taruva, cheapie to start the year, average finished on 50, which is, I really thought he was going to tick over to more than that, but yeah, I don't know. He just never really. He's just not a very good finishing winger. Like, obviously he does some really good things as a winger, but he's not a good finisher. Like, let's be real. He obviously doesn't see great ball from his inside men. Like, he's got a bit of, Tungo, Peachy, Crichton, if he's on that side of the field. They don't like to pass, but Taruva's had plenty of chances to score tries that a lot of wingers in the comp would score, but he's just not. He doesn't look like a natural winger. Like, you never really see him just sprint to the corner and dive and put the ball down. I don't remember seeing him score a try like that, really. And I think he is more a fullback coming through the grades, but obviously he's been a great winger, but just the finishing not as natural, in my opinion. And he missed a few chances. Fullbacks, I mean, Azaka is there as well. The fullbacks as well has been a fucking clusterfuck, dude. Clint Gutherson finished with an average of 80. I mean, he was a great buy-in for us. Drinkwater finished with a 83 average. Is he the highest averaging fullback? No, Kalen Ponga, obviously. Still Fayalongo with his debut there. Tommy Trebojevic, Reece Walsh, Gutherson, Mitchell. Obviously Tommy only played 11 games. He looked good at point. Well, actually, I don't know. He didn't look great a lot of the time, but Tommy Trebojevic scores points. Latrell Mitchell did me dirty. The fullbacks are they're a touchy issue. Tedesco, 9th top scoring player. Yeah, bit of a strange old Supercoach year, it's got to be said. And let's have a look. So yeah, the champion, Numbnuts, Wayne. He scored. I think he came from a long way. No, he was second. Okay. He only moved up one spot. And then 5-year plan moved up 7 to get into second overall with a 1252. Blue Reddos moved up. Who dropped off? Oh, Hendo. Hendo moved up 13 spots. Macho Madness with a 1448 moved up 100 spots to finish in the top 10, bruh. Oh man, I would love a finish like that one year. That would be nice. Fucking Spandickles moved up 313 spots to finish in 13th. Oh my god. With a 1600. God, he must have had all the Manly boys. Oh my Jesus. Where are the drops? Oh, Wolfpack. He dropped 20 spots. Yeah, he was in first, obviously. Oh, that's rough. Oh. I mean, that was probably a frustrating week for him. And I know there's been a lot of talk about, like, should they change the way Supercoach works, this and that. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, if you didn't keep trades and you weren't really expecting mass restings, then it sucks. But obviously people got lucky, some didn't, and unfortunately for Wolfpack, he did not. He scored 742 from first place, but he must have known that he was in big trouble. Yeah, Sonny Luke didn't play. He had Joe Tarpany. He had Cam Murray. Papali'i, 32. Fucking Papali'i stunk it up this year. Nico Hines, obviously had Johnson, Cody Walker, Zarko Maju. Drinkwater stunk it up as well. So he looped Zarko's 96, which is fine, but yeah, bit of a rough week for number 1 last week. Oh, that would sting. That would definitely sting, dude. I gotta see fucking this dude Spandickles. Fucking hell, man. It's gonna make me mad. Yeah, Nicarima. Fucking Nicarima, dude. Tino. He had Joe Tarpany. Murray. Hudson Young. Connolly. Lemuelu. Fucking he had Bubba Lee. Didn't even play him. This motherfucker. Nathan Cleary. Cherry Evans. No 5/8s. Okay, so he would have got the Papa Lee points anyway. Zarko, To'o, Cola. Yep, the Cola captaincy, dude. Maju, he had Drinkwater, Tedesco, Johnston, and Dom Young. So he had a couple of stinker scores, but fucking 188 double, that'll do it for you. And also a couple other big tons, so that's definitely nice. Let's have a look at Numbnuts. So he was in second. Who did he have? So yeah, fucking Nicarima, dude. Tarpany, David Moali, fucking 10 points. He didn't really help out holders too much. You know, people who just suffered with him all year probably thought final round, he's put on the bench, just give me a 30-40. 10 points. Love to see it. Dave Fafita, Cam Murray, Nicara, Howarth. Fucking Howarth got 44 points. Nathan Cleary as captain. That's what I had. Nico Hines. Cody Walker. He had a Zarko, To'o, Maju, and Drinky. So, pretty similar to my... The only difference, he had a couple of higher centre wingers because I had Johnston. Who else did I have? I thought I had one other decent scorer in the centre wing, but I also didn't have Cam Murray. My back row was a little shocking, but yeah, 1178. He got into first overall. It looks like he didn't really... He might have made one trade, but I don't think so. So he got pretty fortuitous if he had no trades left. But yeah, that's Supercoach done and dusted. Like I said, I might, if I feel like it, I might do another video just going through sort of the hits and misses of this year, and also just have maybe a closer look at some players for next year. Just have a quick look at what players maybe stunk it up this year, look at their price, what they're finishing on, and yeah, well, there's a couple of things we can go through if I feel like it. But other than that, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the series. It's been a fun year regardless of ranking. But yeah, make sure to like and comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.